a loud hall for studying, and an easy exposure to sickness. Did you know that by living in the dorms, you have a very high risk to getting the disease meningitis? Do you even know what meningitis is? Well, our professor, Ms. Ginsco, does. While in her senior year of college, she got meningitis without even knowing what it was. The doctors just treated it as a sinus infection. And her dad even made her work while she was very ill. Yet, after getting a spinal tap, she was diagnosed with meningitis and missed 3 weeks of school for this potentially fatal disease that not enough people know about or understand. Today, I want to tell you what meningitis is, how you can get it, and how to prevent and care for this disease. First, let me tell you what meningitis is. There are two types of meningitis, bacterial and viral. According to the school nurse, bacterial is the more serious of the two. It's a fatal bacterial infection that causes the inflammation of the membrane surrounding the brain and spinal cord. You get headaches, stiffness of the neck, and you become very irritable. The textbook of pediatrics reveals that a bumpy and splotchy dark red or purplish rash spreads over your whole body, and you will go into a seizure and eventually a coma. You also have a possibility of losing a limb. As summarized by WebMD.com, bacterial meningitis requires immediate medical attention and may lead to death within hours. You will also have the possibility of permanent neurological damage. However, if you do seek help soon enough, your life can be spared. As stated by LA Times, there are 3,000 Americans per year that get bacterial meningitis, and 300 of which die. There are 100 to 125 college students that get bacterial meningitis, and 5 to 15 of which each year will die. A less severe type of meningitis is viral meningitis. It also causes the inflammation of the membrane surrounding the brain and spinal cord. You will get the same symptoms as bacterial meningitis, but as scary as it may seem, but put into perspective by the school nurse, it is just like a cold or a flu and will go away within a week or so. Well, now you know what meningitis is. Let me tell you about how you can be exposed to this disease. The textbook of pediatrics says that it is a very contagious disease and can be spread through the air or by person-to-person contact by way of our saliva. Morbidity and Mortality Weekly reports that in places like jails, nightclubs, bars, or daycare centers, there is a very high risk to getting the disease because of the close contact. College students that live in dorms have a 6 times higher risk of getting meningitis than college students that don't live in dorms. As reported by LA Times, because of the tight living quarters, college students are very susceptible to meningitis. I don't know about you guys, but after finding out what meningitis is and how we as college students have such a high risk, I wanted to know what I could do about the disease if I get it, or how to prevent this disease. After meeting with the school nurse, Jean Bentine, I learned how to prevent and care for this disease. In the 1970s, a vaccine called Meningitis was made. It is very safe and very effective, and it causes protection, or it provides protection against 4 out of the 5 strains that cause meningitis. And these 4 strains cause 70% of the college campus cases. WebMD.com suggests a vaccine for people entering college, especially those living in dorms, and people that are planning on traveling to places outside with widespread meningitis, and for those of you that plan to go to jail soon. Now let's suppose you didn't get the vaccine, or you are one of the few unlucky that do get meningitis even after getting the vaccine. Jean Benton explains that if it's viral meningitis, there's nothing you can really do, just wait it out and treat the symptoms as if it was a cold or a flu. Yet, if you get bacterial meningitis, your condition will be much worse. You can spare death by visiting a doctor immediately or as soon as possible and receive antibiotics to kill the disease. But it is very likely that you will suffer from permanent disabilities such as brain damage or hearing loss. I know this information can be very overwhelming, but now you know what meningitis is, how you can get it, and how to prevent and care for this disease. And you're one step ahead of where Ms. Ginsco was when she was our age. Don't let yourself get into her dilemma. Eat right, sleep 7 to 8 hours, and put up with that little prick and get your meningitis vaccination.